Okay, so today's story time is about one of the most messed up things I've ever seen. It's a crazy one. Strap in, buckle up. Yeah. Hello, it's Austin here, or Luna. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. I just woke up a couple hours ago, 5 p.m. I'm just so responsible. Before I get into it, I just want to say thank you for all the support on the videos recently. You guys have been absolutely crushing it with the likes and comments and stuff like that, so I really appreciate it. And yeah, I guess it's time to tell this story. So in order to tell this story, we got to go all the way back. So take it back to second grade Luna. Yeah, young Luna. In elementary school, at the time, life was pretty good from what I remember of it. And in second grade, I met this kid. About halfway through the year, he was a new student, and we're just going to call him Dylan, okay? I met Dylan halfway through second grade, and upon meeting Dylan, we just started hanging out more and more in school and then outside of school, and before I knew it, we were pretty good friends. Now, me and Dylan stayed friends all the way until high school. Even after high school, we're still friends to this day. But yeah, we stayed friends all through elementary, through middle, and into high school. We actually went to different middle schools, but we ended up going back to the same high school together. And in high school, Dylan was a pretty popular dude. He got on really well with everybody there. Like, within the first year of going to high school, like in freshman year, he pretty much was like one of the most popular people in school. He just had that like charm to him, you know. He had that aura, as the children are saying, that absolute opium aura. Anyway, that's enough of that. Yeah, he was a pretty like, you know, cool dude, and people liked him, right? And the cool thing about Dylan is even though he got really popular in school, he didn't get like an ego. Because I knew some people that got popular and they started thinking they were like the coolest motherfucker on planet Earth. I had friends straight up cut me off and stop talking to me because they were too popular for me in high school. That shit is so lame. I could not imagine being like that. Like, I remember when my YouTube shit started to pop off in high school and people started to come around me more often, I didn't treat anybody differently because guess what? We're all fucking people. Who gives a shit? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Yeah, Dylan was cool. He didn't let the popularity get to his head. He didn't let it, you know, inflate his ego or whatever you want to say. Yeah, cool dude, right? Well, there was this one person that also went to my high school. We'll just call him Justin, okay? Justin didn't like Dylan. I could not tell you why. I don't know why, but for some reason, Justin would be super rude to Dylan all the time, give him hella attitude, like say fucked up shit behind his back, and Dylan was nothing but nice to Justin. Even after hearing that, you know, Justin was talking shit behind his back, Dylan was still very nice to him. Now, about halfway through freshman year, one of our friends, we'll just call her Jessica was having a birthday party. And she invited pretty much everybody from our school, dude. It was crazy. And yeah, I got an invite, and so did Dylan, and so did Justin. And I remember thinking, like, okay, this might be a little awkward because, you know, Justin hates Dylan, and they're going to be in the same room and same party. Hopefully nothing happens, right? Well, something happened. So, come time for the party that weekend, we go. I met up with Dylan at my house first. We went there together, and we get there. Now, the first hour or two of this party, great, amazing, fun, right? Everything's good. And then Justin shows up, and my exact fear came true. Because as soon as Justin went through that fucking door of this party and came into the party, he started being super weird. He came up to like our group of friends because there was people like in our group that Justin was friends with, and he saw Dylan was there, and he started being super weird. Like he like immediately gave Dylan a dirty look, and when someone asked him like what was up, he just like rolled his eyes, and he just was being kind of like a little bitch. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. And I don't know if it was just like Dylan, you know, being at this party that changed his mood, but Dylan seemed like he was kind of fed up with it. Like he'd been taking this shit for too long. He clearly was like over Justin's bullshit and being rude to him. And Dylan said something. He goes, "Yo, Justin." And Justin's like, "What?" He's like, "Bro, I've been nothing but nice to you the entire year. I've tried to like start conversations with you. I've tried to like follow you on social media and like DM you and like see what's good. Like you ignore me. You treat me like shit. What's the problem, bro? Like I don't have a single issue with you. It's all love over here. Like your friends are my friends. Your friends are my friends. Like, what's good? Why are we not friends?" And Dylan was literally just trying to squash whatever imaginary beef they had, right? And Justin just laughs and goes, "Nah, we're not going to be friends ever." And everyone in the group's kind of like, "What the fuck?" And Dylan's like, okay, but why? Like, that's the whole thing here. Like, why are you so fucking mean to me? Like, what's the problem? Why can't we be cool? And Justin goes, I don't know, man. And Dylan goes, I don't believe you, bro. I feel like you know. I feel like you're just not telling me. Like, just tell me the truth. Why can't we be cool? What did I do to make you mad? Because clearly I did something that I don't know about. And finally, the truth came out. Justin goes, all right, man, listen, I just don't fuck with you. You're one of those, like, cringy, popular, egomaniac, jock, douchebag types, and you're just fucking lame. I don't like people like you. You think you're the shit because you're popular. And I was like, okay, that explains it. He thinks like Dylan's some dickhead, which wasn't the truth, by the way. Like I said earlier, Dylan was not one of those people at all. I knew people like that, and Dylan was not one of them. And yeah, when Dylan heard this from Justin, he was like, bro, like, why do you think that? I've been nothing but nice to you. Why would you think I'm a douchebag? And Justin goes, I don't know, man. Some people, I could just sense it, and that's what you are. And Dylan's like, so you have a feeling that I'm a douchebag? You don't have any proof? And Justin's like, I don't need it. I see how you act and shit. That's all I need to know. And I chimed in, and I was like, you've seen how he acts. Like, what did he do? And then Justin's like, are you his boyfriend? Why are you speaking for him? And I was like, motherfucker, I'm not speaking for him. I just want to know what he's done that's so wrong to you. Because if you're going to call someone fucking names, have some shit to back it up. And this dude tries to ego me. He goes, I'm sorry, who are you? Motherfucker, he knew me. I've talked to him multiple times. He was just being a dick. And also, how ironic that he was calling Dylan one of those like jockey, egomaniac dicks. But then he goes around and says, who am I? Like, what the fuck? That's so hypocritical. So I said that. I was like, wow, how ironic. You're calling my friend one of those like stereotypical douchey popular kids with an ego, and you're telling me, who am I? Being an asshole with an ego. So that's funny. And then he walks up closer to me, kind of like gets in my face a little bit. And he was like, okay, so what you gonna do about it then? You got a problem with what I said? Do some shit. Like, we could throw hands right now. I don't give a single fuck. I'm not in the mood for your shit. And I was like, okay, swing first. And look, y'all know me. I'm not the type of person to be like, yo, let's fucking do this shit. Like, I don't like fighting. I don't. I hate violence. I think it's fucked up. I think it's very much like last resort kind of behavior. But this dude was just being mean to my friend, and I had taken too much of his shit. I was not in the mood. So I said, okay, swing first. And he goes, you swing first. And I go, nah, man, I don't swing unless it's self-defense, so you gotta swing first. He goes, I'm not swinging first. And I was like, okay, so I guess we're not fighting then, so stop fucking acting tough. And he was like, I'm not acting tough, you are. And I was like, no, I'm not, dude. I'm really not. You're the one with the ego. And he's like, you have an ego. And he was just being like a fucking elementary schooler, bro. Just kept repeating what I was saying. And I was like, all right, man, whatever. So after this, he turns his attention back to Dylan. And he's like, all right, so are we done here? Like, can I just go back to enjoying the party without you, like, asking me shit like a 21 questions game? And Dylan's like, whatever, man. You want imaginary beef with me? You got it, bro. Like, have fun being mad at me for something I never even did. And Justin just, like, laughs and walks away. And pretty much everybody in our group was like, yo, that was fucking lame. Like, fuck Justin, bro. Like, that guy's a dickhead. Like, even his own friends that were in the group were like, yo, that was fucked up. So, yeah, pretty much everyone was siding with Dylan. Because Dylan is a good dude. Like I said earlier, he is not the kind of person Justin was painting him out to be. And that was very clear because Justin had not a single example of how Dylan's a jerk. So whatever. Anyway, after like 30 more minutes go by or 40 minutes and the party's like kind of, you know, fun again and there's not any beef going on, of course, Justin has to wander his way back towards our group because there were some friends of his in our group talking. And he does the same shit. He comes into the group, he like, you know, stands in our circle and he starts like being weird. He's like rolling his eyes and shit, making like dirty looks at Dylan, and he just looks like an asshole again. And it got to a point where the girl that was throwing the party, she came over to our group and she saw like how fucked up Justin was being towards Dylan. And she goes, Justin, what the fuck's your issue? Like, if you're not having fun, get the fuck out of my house. And Justin's like, I'm having fun. Why wouldn't I be having fun? And she's like, you're being a dick to Dylan, like you always are. Like, stop. This is my fucking day. It's my birthday, my party. I'm not going to have you being a little bitch. And she just absolutely fried his shit, just cooked him in front of everyone. And I'm not going to lie, it felt pretty good to hear it. Because, like I said, he was being such a dick the whole night. And instead of, like, arguing back or, you know, just snapping out of it and being in a better mood, Justin just went, okay, fine. Fuck your party then. And he turns around and he walks out the front door. And honestly, man, nobody really cared that he left. I'm not going to lie. Everyone kind of looked at each other and gave each other that look of like, good riddance, you know, like, fuck you. Like, no one really cared. Because why should they? He was just being a dick the whole night. So I assumed that he left, right? Because that's what everybody assumed. He literally just walked out the front door and said, fuck that shit. So, I thought he wouldn't be coming back. Well, about 20 minutes later, the door opens, the front door, and Justin walks back in holding what appears to be a paintball gun. And I immediately think, what the hell is he doing with that? And he points it upwards and just starts unloading on Dylan. I don't know why to this day. Like, literally, Dylan didn't do anything wrong, bro. The whole night, he didn't do shit. Now, obviously, a bunch of our friends had Dylan's back. We immediately ran over and tackled his ass and stopped him from shooting our friend with a paintball gun. And we disarmed him from the paintball gun. Now, unfortunately, that didn't stop anything because immediately Dylan ran over, got on top of Justin, and started punching him because he was pissed that he just got a clip of a paintball gun unloaded on him. So then they're fighting, and they're like on the ground fighting. We break it up very quickly because obviously we don't want a fight happening at our friend's birthday party. And again, the girl that was throwing the party was like, Justin, get the fuck out of my house. And she's kicking him out. And right as he's walking out the front door again to actually leave this time, Dylan picks up a drink off the table in like a red Solo cup and whips it at the back of Justin's head and fucking just hits him, bro. Like, lasered that shit at the back of his head and hit him, and like Pepsi exploded all over his head. I don't think it hurt very bad because it was just like a half full cup of Pepsi, and like it was in a red Solo cup, so it wasn't glass or anything, but still, it probably was embarrassing to get hit with Pepsi and have it explode on his head. And he turned around and tried to charge Dylan and like fight him again, but that didn't work because our friends held him back. And yeah, they pushed him out the front door. They pushed Justin out the front door. They kicked him out. And I truly thought that would be the end of it, right? He was gone. They kicked him out of the party. They locked the door behind him. We thought there was nothing else that could possibly happen. That was until about 10 minutes later, somebody runs inside from the backyard, this girl. So the party wasn't just in the house, right? It was in the house and it was out in the backyard. And this girl runs in through the back door into the living room where like the main party's happening, and she yells, "Someone come help, there's a fire, there's a fire." And I'm like, oh shit. Now I thought the bonfire that was out there, maybe like it spread and it caught something else on fire. Maybe someone threw some gasoline on the live fire and like missed, threw it and it went somewhere else. I don't know, right? I thought it was a bonfire related fire. Well, when everyone ran outside, we quickly realized it was not a bonfire related fire. There was 2 dirt bikes in the backyard that were owned by our friend, the one that, was throwing the party. Well, I guess technically they were owned by her parents because they bought the dirt bikes for her. But they were for her because she liked riding motocross. And they were on fire. And guys, dirt bikes are not cheap. And 2, that's a lot of money, man. It was probably like, no joke, like over $10,000 worth of equipment on fire, right? Now, obviously, when we saw this, everyone's like, what the fuck happened? And that same girl, the one that ran in and like reported it, she was like, this guy, like he came from the side of the house, like he walked around, he had a gas can in his hand, and he threw it all over the dirt bikes and lit it up. And we're like, what the fuck? Who? And she starts describing what he looked like. And I was like, oh, it's Justin. I knew that, and everybody knew that, because Justin was wearing the same exact t-shirt from a band that she described. She was like, yeah, he was wearing this band t-shirt, and he had black hair. And I was like, oh, that's Justin, because he's wearing that band t-shirt and has black hair. But yeah, essentially, everyone's freaking out now, trying to put this fire out. Luckily, the girl that was throwing the party, she had a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, so we grabbed that, and it actually worked well enough to put the fire out on both bikes. It was a pretty big one. So we actually didn't need to call the fire department. Should we have? Yes, but we didn't. Now, obviously, after the fire was put out, the girl that was throwing the party, she was crying. Her 2 dirt bikes were burned, like completely, dude, like just probably unsalvageable, right? And it's just sad, man. She was really upset. It was her birthday, and this asswipe came in the backyard and burned her shit because he was butthurt that she kicked him out of the party. I didn't understand it, man. Like, between what he did to Dylan and what he did to this woman, like, I couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't. It was to a point where I was like, yo, this guy's fucking evil. Like, genuinely evil. Now, after, the bikes were put out, the fire was gone, we're sitting there and we're like, yo, we need to do something about this. Like, this is fucked. And we looked around the neighborhood to see if Justin was still around, because he couldn't have gone far. He didn't drive or anything. But we couldn't find him. We did find the gas can that he used. That was over by the front shed, the exact shed he stole the gas can out of. It was literally, the parents of the person that owned the house, their shed. Anyway, we couldn't find him, and the girl that was throwing the party ends up calling the police. She called the cops and was like, hey, someone set my bikes on fire. I kicked him out of my party. He came back with a paintball gun. Then we kicked him out again, and then he came into the backyard and burned my 2 dirt bikes, and they're ruined. Like, I need this guy caught. And she's on the phone with the cops talking to them about it, and about 20 minutes later, cops are there. They pull up. Now, upon them pulling up, she was talking to them, giving them the story and everything, and everyone's just standing outside in disbelief at the night and how it turned from a really fun party to an absolute shit show. And we're just kind of like standing there waiting, seeing what was going to happen. And about 15, 20 minutes after the cops got there, the party ended up getting disbanded because it was kind of over. Like, there was nothing else to do. There was no more fun to have. The police were there. Some serious shit went down. So the girl ended up just sending everybody home, except like the really close friends, which luckily included me, so I got to stay. And about 10 minutes later, after everyone was leaving, her parents pulled up, and they were like, what the hell happened? Like, why'd the dirt bikes get set on fire? And, they had to get filled in on the situation because her parents weren't there during the party. They let her, like, have the house to herself for this party, which was pretty crazy of them to let her do that. But anyway, the police ended up finding the motherfucker. They found him like 45 minutes later at this nearby corner store trying to call people for a ride because he didn't have a ride home. And yeah, they arrested his ass and called his parents. And he got in a shit ton of trouble. Yeah, they didn't go very easy on him because he was a juvenile. They like still put him in fucking juvie and they gave him charges. Apparently he also got probation for like years. Not just like a year or two, but like multiple years. The type of shit that was going to follow him into adulthood. So he fucked his life up pretty young. But that's what happens when you burn 2 dirt bikes that are multiple thousands of dollars. Like, yeah, that's fucked up. Now, as for the girl that got her dirt bikes lit on fire, it was actually a kind of happy ending for her. She got 2 new ones that are even better and newer models than the 2 she had. As for how, I can't remember. I don't think she paid for them, though. I'm pretty sure she had some sort of insurance. Or maybe like the family of the asshole, Justin, paid for him. But I remember she said she didn't pay for him. I know that. So that's good news. Now, as for Justin, he got moved to a different school as well. Like literally his parents pulled him out of school immediately after this happened because they knew if he went to school after this happened, everyone would just fucking hate him. Because everyone at the party was there, went to our school. They wouldn't like him very much after that night. So they moved him to a different school pretty much immediately. We never saw him again. And yeah, that's it. Literally like one of the craziest parties I've ever been to because it ended in flames.